Welcome to the story of America. Hello, my friends. Today we begin a fascinating journey through the history of the United States of America. This is a special lesson for listening and speaking practice, and I promise to make it easy, fun, and interesting. By the end of this series, you will know everything about America, its discovery, its struggles, its people, and why it is one of the most powerful countries in the world today. Let's start with the big question. How did it all begin? Who discovered America? A long, long time ago, around 15,000 years ago, Native American tribes lived on this land. They were the first people to call America home. These tribes were hunters and gatherers who traveled across a land bridge from Asia to North America. They lived in harmony with nature, growing crops, hunting animals, and building unique cultures. But the story of America, as we know it, starts much later. In 1492, an Italian explorer named Christopher Columbus set sail. He was looking for a new route to Asia, but instead he landed in the Americas. This journey was funded by the King and Queen of Spain, Ferdinand and Isabella. Columbus thought he had reached India, so he called the native people Indians. However, Columbus wasn't the first European to reach America. Nearly 500 years earlier, the Vikings, led by Leif Erikson, landed in what is now Canada. But their settlements didn't last long, so Columbus is often credited with discovering America because his journey brought European attention to the continent. The European rush after Columbus, more explorers came from Europe. Spain, France, England, and other countries sent ships to claim land in the New World. Spain focused on South and Central America, where they found gold and silver. England and France started building colonies in North America. These European settlers brought many changes to the land and its people. They introduced new foods, animals, and technology. But they also brought diseases, which sadly killed many Native Americans. This was the beginning of a very complex and painful relationship between the settlers and the native people. The first colonies. In 1607, England established its first permanent colony in America called Jamestown in Virginia. The settlers faced many problems, harsh winters, disease, and lack of food, but they survived. Soon, more colonies were formed, and people from Europe began moving to America for a better life. One of the most famous groups was the Pilgrims, who came to America in 1620 on a ship called the Mayflower. They were escaping religious persecution in England and wanted freedom to worship as they wished. They landed in what is now Massachusetts and celebrated the first Thanksgiving with Native Americans who helped them survive. Why was America so important? By the 1700s, America became a land of opportunity. People came from all over Europe because they believed they could find freedom, land, and a new life here. But this new beginning wasn't easy. Different countries were fighting for control of America, especially England, France,